Hey everyone! Today, we're going to peek behind the curtain of our recycling bins to uncover a pretty wild technological revolution. It's called Recycling 4.0, and trust me, it's about to change everything you thought you knew about where your trash goes.
So you do your part, right? You separate the plastics, the paper, the metals, you roll the bin out to the curb, and poof, it's gone. But what really happens after that? Most of us probably have this simple image in our heads. Well, let me tell you, the reality is becoming so much more complex and honestly, way more brilliant than you could probably imagine.
And this right here really shows you the heart of this whole revolution. On one side, you've got the way we used to do things, manual sorting. It's slow, it's expensive, and it's super easy for the wrong stuff to slip through, which just ruins the quality of the final recycled material. But on the other side, that's Recycling 4.0. It's a completely different world. We're talking automation, robots, and AI working together to create this super fast, super efficient system that churns out incredibly pure materials.
So, how does it all start? Well, the very first step inside one of these crazy advanced facilities is what I like to call the Great Takedown. And it's all about breaking things apart, but in a very smart way. The key idea here is something called destructive disassembly. Now, this is not like carefully taking apart a watch to reuse the gears. No. The goal here isn't to save the individual components. The goal is to liberate the valuable raw materials that are locked up inside them. So think less like a delicate repair job and more like a strategic demolition. So why all the force? Well, it's all about being strategic. You've got these robotic arms with drills and cutters that can just slice and dice with incredible precision, separating valuable metals from plastics in a flash. They can quickly snip away all the low-value stuff, like cables, that would normally just contaminate the whole batch. The bottom line is, this approach is way more cost-effective, and it gives the quality of the recycled material a massive boost right from the get-go.
Okay, so once everything's been broken down and all those materials have been set free, they move on to the next stage. And this is the brains of the whole operation. This is where AI-powered sorting completely takes over.
And this is where things get really futuristic. Just picture a river of mixed-up materials flying by on a conveyor belt. High-tech cameras are scanning every single piece. An AI that's been trained on literally millions of images identifies each object instantly. It knows different types of plastic, colors, even shapes. Then that AI guides this whole team of robotic arms with these nimble little fingers to pick out specific items and drop them into the right bins. The result? These incredibly pure streams of sorted material. It's amazing to watch.
And the speed, it's just mind-blowing. I mean, a human sorter can only move so fast, right? But as you can see here, these AI-guided robot systems can separate materials at least twice as fast as a person. And they do it with this relentless, perfect precision over and over again. Let's break that down just a little bit more, because it's not only about speed. The accuracy is just consistently through the roof. Unlike a human worker who can get tired and make mistakes, these robots, they can run 24/7 without a break. And here's a really crucial part. They collect data. The system is constantly learning what kind of stuff is coming through the facility, and that info can then be sent back to manufacturers to help them design products that are even easier to recycle in the future. It's a feedback loop. So after all of this strategic smashing and high-speed AI sorting, what's the end result? What's the ultimate payoff for all this incredible technology? Well, it all boils down to this one really simple but powerful idea. The entire point of Recycling 4.0 is to make sure that the stuff we recover can be used again in its purest possible form. That is the absolute key to breaking our habit of just constantly using new, virgin resources. And the results, they are just staggering. These systems are achieving material purity levels of 95% or even higher. Let's be clear, that's not just a tiny improvement. That's creating a recycled resource that is practically as good as the original.
And why does that purity matter so much? Because when you have a pure material, you can make a brand new, high-quality product. You're not downcycling a plastic bottle into a park bench anymore. You're turning a plastic bottle back into another plastic bottle. That is how you truly close the loop. That's how you build a real circular economy.
What we've just looked at isn't some far-off science fiction. This is happening right now. It's the beginning of recycling's next chapter. And it's a chapter being written with robotics, with artificial intelligence, and with a totally new way of thinking about how we manage our resources.
So the next time you put out your recycling bin, maybe you'll remember this whole process. If our technology can literally mine our old, discarded products for pure, valuable resources, it kind of forces us to ask a really big question. What even is waste, really? Maybe it's just a resource in the wrong place. Thanks for tuning in.